let's take a look at the 2026 World Cup and look at the slot allocation. All right. So this is the slot allocation for the 2026 World Cup. For those of you guys who don't know, the AFC with 46 eligible members would have 8 spots. So their spots would go up from 4.5 to 8. That is big. That is really, really big. They have double of their amount of spots, and you're going to have 8 Asian nations at the World Cup back in 2026, hosted by Mexico, the USA, and Canada, primarily the USA, of course, for commercial reasons. You know that. So Asia, we might see Australia, Japan, Korea, all the big guns. Saudi Arabia qualify. And then the teams right behind them, Iran, not Iran are one of the big guns, but the other teams like Iraq could get a return to the tournament. They did qualify before. Maybe Jordan could finally qualify after coming close. Bahrain could qualify after coming close. You see what I'm saying? Kuwait could make it back again after making it to the World Cup in the past. You know, so you got teams like Lebanon who want to make their debut. Uzbekistan, Vietnam, China would want to return. North Korea would want to return. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, maybe not North Korea, man. But AFC, 8 teams, that's looking juicy for the Asian football lovers there. CAF, Africa would have 9 places, guys. 9. So they would get an additional 4 teams. There will be a lot of debutants at the 2026 World Cup, by the way. And there will be a lot of teams coming off a hiatus as well. CONCACAF would go up from 3 direct spots to 6. And with the host qualifying directly, that means that there will be 3 spots to fight for. So in the CONCACAF qualifying for 2026 World Cup, the USA, Mexico, and Canada might participate just for formality reasons and just to keep, fit and fresh. But their results, I think, won't count. You see what I mean? So you're going to have teams like Costa Rica, Honduras, Panama, Jamaica, Haiti, Trinidad and Tobago, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Guatemala, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, maybe. Maybe not. And all the other CONCACAF nations scrapping it out for a place at the 2026 event. CONMEBOL would only move up to 6 places. That's fair enough. Only 10 teams, 6 teams qualify directly. But guess what? There will be a team going into the playoffs. So I'll get to the playoff section just now. So look, OFC will have 1 direct place. No longer have to go through the Confederation playoff to get a spot. 1 direct place. For Europe, they will get 3 additional places along with the 13 they already have. And all those teams would add up to 46. And there will be 2 available spots left via the playoffs. And this is what the playoff looks like. A playoff tournament including 6 teams will be held to decide the last 2 FIFA World Cup berths, consisting of 1 team per confederation except for UEFA. So UEFA does not get a team going into the playoffs because they already have 16 spots. You don't need another European country at the World Cup, and they already have freaking 16 already. So 6 spots, no UEFA team, which means 1 additional team from the confederation of the host country, CONCACAF. So there will be 2 CONCACAF nations in the playoffs because there will be no UEFA. So a CONCACAF nation, the host nation, will replace the UEFA team. So there will be 2 CONCACAF nations in. So look, 2 CONCACAF nations in the playoffs. 2 CONCACAF nations, 1 from OFC, 1 from AFC, 1 from, well, let me repeat that. OFC, AFC, CONMEBOL, Africa, CONCACAF, and another CONCACAF, which would make 6. Don't want to confuse myself there. So the reading continues. 2 of the teams will be seeded based on FIFA rankings, and the seeded teams will play for a FIFA berth against the winners of the first 2 knockout games involving the 4 unseeded teams. So you will have 2 seeded teams waiting on 2 teams. So the highest ranked teams that goes into the playoffs, right, would be just there waiting. They will be there waiting for those teams who are unseeded, lower ranked team, which means there will definitely be a team from OFC in there. There will most likely be an Asian team in there. And the unseeded teams might be a South American team and maybe a team from Africa. You see what I'm saying? So you might end up having 2 CONCACAF teams in the earlier unseeded rounds of the playoff. They won't be, I don't think they'll play against each other, but they will play against another confederation. And then, or you might end up having a situation where they might end up playing against each other. Who knows? In the final. The tournament is to be played in 1 or more of the host countries and to be used as a test event for the FIFA World Cup. The existing playoff windows of November 2025 and March 2026 have been suggested as a tentative date for the 2026 edition. So, yeah, man. Yeah.